Everyone to Tarot Thursday. I'm Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Bryan, and we are here to do 3 card readings, more or less, and a little bit of conversation and hilarity along the way as well. So, welcome to everyone who's joining us. Go ahead and post your questions in chat. We'll be happy to answer them. And we'll go ahead and give our usual disclaimers. We cannot predict the gender of your unborn offspring. We do not give medical advice because we're not medical people. We don't give legal advice because we're not legal people. And we cannot predict the outcome of any of the multiple conflicts going on around the world because that stuff's changing by the minute anyway.
Pretty
much. And Bryan's familiar Elvis will probably join us at some point in time. My familiar Hella went downstairs because it smells like Daddy is cooking bacon, and why would she hang with me when Daddy is cooking bacon?
If I was cooking bacon, I probably wouldn't be hanging out with you either. But,
Yeah. Well, you did agree to hang out with me for an hour.
I did. And I don't have any bacon in the house because my partner's a vegetarian.
Well, there's that. So, anyway, if anybody has a question for us, please go ahead and post it in chat on whatever platform you are watching us on.
I did bring him home some very nice tofu jerky from Vegas.
Happy Leap Day, Anissa.
Do you know all the little tiny humans who were born today were given frog hats?
Were they?
Yes.
That's adorable.
They frog.
I did not leap, but I have a bum knee.
I had my legal name change on leap year. I'm technically only 3. Anybody have any questions?
And which deck are you reading with tonight, Bryan?
Not the same one as last week. The Friends Tarot.
Okay. Well, the deck last week was certainly interesting.
In so many ways.
Yes. And as usual, I have the 100 card Tarot of Hecate.
Do you have the 100 cards in there?
I do. I have the 100 cards.
Oh, right. It's 100 cards because of the extra suit, but you didn't put the other cards in.
I cannot read with the expansion decks. I am doing good to read the 100 card version.
Gotcha.
If I play with the expansion decks, I'm just reading from the expansion decks.
That's what I do with the expansions. I use the expansions on Sunday for when I do a weekly reset. I pull one ancestor, one of the majors, one of the runes, and then I have an animal spirit deck separately that I pull from.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you for a reading for me since no one is posting anything right now.
It's usually how we get things moving along.
All right. So there is a major change. The division I work for is being sold to another company. How does that affect me?
Okay. Let's see. Well, first card, Ace of Cups. So obviously you're having emotions, but don't let the emotions, you know, take hold too much.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. I know. Six of Pentacles. I have so from the Pentacles, which is money and material gain, and usually jobs and stuff. I would say that this is actually a good move for you.
Okay.
However, with the Wheel of Fortune as the third card, you're just going to have to trust the process.
All right.
So
That works.
have your feels, go with the flow, trust the process.
And it could get shot down by the regulators at this point still. So,
Right.
hey, Michelle, how are you?
Oh, yeah, Nisa. The faux bacon is not the same. It's nice for those who do that sort of thing, but it is not for me. Thanks. No thanks. It's a textural thing. All right, Mary.
Yeah.
So we potentially have a wedding officiant. We would be their first pagan and UU interfaith ceremony. How do we think this will go?
Okay. Are we asking how the ceremony itself will go off or how well they will plan the ceremony?
How well they're going to plan the ceremony. So far, we've had to send them information about hopping brooms.
On Leap Day, you invoke hopping brooms.
Yes, and on Wednesday.
Alrighty. So how well is this officiant a UU pastor?
Yes.
All right. How well will Bryan's officiant do with constructing a pagan ceremony?
Hello, my little familiar. You still can't come to the party, Elvis.
Well, I've got the Ace of Cups. Well, of course, this is your wedding ceremony. So there's some emotions here. Then I got the Prince of Cups.
Well, I hope there would be that too. Alrighty then.
So, we got a lot of emotion around here. But
Great.
then I got the Magus. So I'm going to say that your officiant is going to pull off a good ceremony.
And I might cry like a baby and hopefully gung-ho at the end.
Exactly.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I mean, I am a Unitarian Universalist, Or maybe you didn't.
I think I did know that because we've talked about Jay's Ewing.
And Unitarian Universalist pastors are trained to work in many different faiths.
Mm.
And when I joined the UU church, one thing the pastor said during orientation was what happens a lot of times is couples will come First, they're looking for someone who's willing to officiate because they come from two faith backgrounds.
Yep.
So they want a ceremony that comes from, they want someone who's willing to help them design the
Hmm.
ceremony that draws on both faiths.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh, so we can practice both our faiths and be welcome here? Well, we'll just join.
Yep.
So I think you'll be fine. And
Oh
yes,
yeah.
Michelle, we can do a general.
Wait. Oh,
What?
didn't Anissa go first?
Oh,
And
I missed that. I will be the anchovy and be read second. I am sorry.
I love the when people be the anchovy. All right.
Okay, Anissa, is this a general reading?
No, it's anchovy reading.
Some things Leap Day does not excuse. Nikki asks, how do I do readings? You take your deck of cards out every morning and you ask the cards, what will my day be like? And you lay out 3 cards.
At first, you shuffle.
Okay, so you shuffle the cards, say, what will my day be like? And lay out 3 cards.
Yep. Yep.
You can look the meanings up in a book if you would like to and write it down.
Yep. Yep.
At the end of the day, you look at what you wrote down and think about what happened during the day. And this is how you start. Then get your family and your friends to let you do readings for them.
Or just sit in the park and see who shows up. That's
If
what
if you're comfortable doing that.
I didn't have much of a choice. All right. I'm going to read Anissa as a general, I think.
I will too.
All right. So, would you like me to go first?
You may.
All right. So, the first card I have for you, Anissa, is the moon. Now, the moon is about introspection, processing, reflecting, doing some shadow work. So, I would take advantage of this extra day in the month to maybe do a little extra shadow work, a little extra journaling, a little extra thinking. And what I think you need to write about is, well, love and the happy family. The cups are known as the happy family card. You have everything you want, everything you need, but there's something that makes you think you need more. So what I think you're reflecting on is what's the one thing that you think you need more of that you don't have? What's making you feel less whole? And the third card I have is the Empress. So the Empress is also talking about, that reflection, that divine feminine energy, yeah. So all that to say, you have great things and something's poking at you that you want more, but we don't know what that is. And maybe neither do you.
All right. And hello to Kanupriya. And I have to do a reading for Anissa, and then we have Michelle ahead of you, and we'll be happy to do a reading for you.
Look who's here.
Hi, Elvis. So the first card I've got for you, Anissa, is the 9 of Cups, and this card is called the Wish card because whatever you wish for, you will get. So be careful what you wish for because you're going to get it. So, whatever kind of energy, wherever you're putting your energy right now, whether you're saying, I am going to get this wonderful thing, or this horrible thing is going to happen to me, you're right. So be careful what kind of energy you are bringing into your life right now. The next card I've got is the Five of Swords, which means there's some sort of conflict. So we're going to go back to the Wish card. So even though there's some conflict, don't say, oh no, this is going to overwhelm me. Say, I'm going to win this one. All right. And then finally, I've got the Four of Pentacles, which is showing that you are doing well in the material realm. You are reaping the rewards of your labors, and you're able to share with other people. So overall, that is a really favorable reading, Anissa, and I hope that's helpful for you. All right, and then we've got a general reading for Michelle.
So before you got the Tower of Hecate, did you just read with a standard Rider-Waite?
Me, I have a whole bag of decks.
Yay. I have an art cart full of decks.
Yes, you have an art cart. I have a large shopping bag full of decks, and I read with all of them until the Tarot of Hecate hid them all from me and forced me to use it.
I have to actually organize my art cart this weekend. That's my plan. All right. It's your turn to go first.
All right. And so the first card I've got for you, Michelle, is the Princess of Pentacles. And the Princess of Pentacles is a young woman who has the resources she needs but hesitates to act. So in this situation, you're tending to hesitate a little. But then we've got the King of Pentacles, which represents planning carefully and using your resources to achieve your goals. And then I've got the Body, which is one of the cards unique to this deck. And it is showing the earth or Gaia as an ensouled being, the living Gaia. And everything on Gaia is intertwined. And so this card often cautions us to be careful because our decisions can have unintended consequences. So I'm going to pull one more card, and this time I got Mind. And when Mind comes up, it encourages us to investigate a situation because you need more information. And then I got the Five of Swords, which is suggesting some conflict. So I'm going to say you need to learn some more, and there is a potential conflict here. And then one more card. And I did shuffle. Really, I did. And I get the Four of Pentacles. So if you investigate your situation and determine everything about it, you will come out very well.
So the first card I have is the Knight of Cups, which is to say that you should receive the love that's coming your way. Someone is showing you love and affection, whether it be within friendship or romantic. Be open to receiving it. The second card that I have is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords says that the power lies in the mind. So that's to say that with the cup, you're resisting that love because your mind isn't sure if it's real or not. Right? And the third card that I have, which goes right along this very court heavy read, is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is really about sort of being a leader, not a follower. And I think that's why you're having a hard time receiving and accepting this affection, is because usually you are the one to be the assertive one first, and someone else taking the assertive role feels uncertain to you, which can make it uncomfortable. But sometimes role reversal is good, so go with it.
Okay. Well, Michelle, I hope that is helpful for you.
Where are we at?
We are down to Kanupriya. I hope I'm saying that right. And what is your question, please?
Elvis has finally decided to chill out. Uh-oh.
I'm glad it resonates well with you, Michelle.
Oh. Cards keep wanting to not shuffle nicely.
Tell the friends to play nicely.
I like the backs of these. Have you ever seen them? It's the frame that they keep on the door.
It's kind of funny because it was shimmering a bit the way you were holding it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. And Kanupriya has not posted their questions.
Okay.
Their question.
How would you like to proceed?
Well, no one else has posted a question either.
Oh.
So we'll remind everyone that we are coming to you on divinationtv.com, and our website will be up by this time next week. And you'll be able to book readings with both of us there and with Reverend Don.
And many of our other merry and happy friends.
Yes, you are very welcome, Michelle.
There's a little kitty on her lap.
Aww. Well, that's quite all right, Nikki. I'm glad that you are welcome for the advice getting started. Hi, Renee. Certainly, we can do a general reading. We can, Priya, if you still want a reading, please post and tell us what your question is.
Or just let you know, we'll say general.
Yeah, say general.
Renee gets a reading a week.
Yes, she does.
I'm going to start logging those in my book. Just for data purposes. I'll show everyone my little pixel grid after we do this reading.
Okay.
It's very nerdy.
Yes. You will talk nerdy to us.
I will. All right.
I've already talked about my large bag of decks.
You have. That you can't find.
I know where they are now.
Oh, good.
But when I was learning to read the Tarot of Hecate, they hid my bag of decks from me.
Yeah. All right. Would you like me to show you my pixels?
Sure.
So this is my my bullet journal, but each one of those little boxes represents a card that I pull at night. Obviously, there's a color code. The colors are pretty obvious if you know the elements of the suits, and the purple boxes are the majors, and then black dots are some of the nights that I skipped or days that don't apply on the calendar. And at the end of each month, I tally up how many of each suit I pulled. And then I do it for the quarter, the half year, and then at the end of the year completely, to see how many of, if there's any major cards that stood out or repeated themselves.
I bet there's a pie chart.
Oh, there's always a pie chart. I've showed you those several times.
Yes. All right. Well, I've got Renee's reading ready.
Okay.
So the first card I've got for you is the Princess of Cups. And this is talking about a young woman. This is cups are water, princesses are earth. So we're talking about water being contained by earth a bit. So you're kind of holding back on your emotions some, Renee. And so be sure you are expressing yourself completely, is what I'm always feeling when I see this card. Now, the next card I have for you is the stars. And here we see someone doing some meditation or maybe even some astral traveling. You can see their spirit is leaving their body. And so this is talking about doing some deep spiritual work, contacting your ancestors, your guides, and really going deep within. And then finally, I've got the Fool. So you are looking at the start of a new cycle. But we're getting into the season of spring coming up here, and we're looking at the start of a lot of new growth. So this is a good time to be starting something new. So I hope that's useful for you, Renee.
So the first card, Renee, that I have for you is the Lovers. Now, the Lovers isn't always about love. Oftentimes, it's about choice. So you'll have some choices to make in the next week. And those choices are around, well, I pulled the Tower. So they're around chaos and around people who you associate with who bring chaos or bring destruction to to places where you socialize or frequent. And the reason that comes up and what it has to do with you is that you've been recently disappointed or you feel there's been some sort of setback with either that friend group or with those people. And I'm going to pull one more card here. The Hermit. Now, the Hermit is obviously one of the majors and has to do with reflection and sort of also withdrawing. So that is to say that if you've experienced something this week that's left you sort of questioning, thinking, or in some sort of reflection, maybe this week or next week to take some time to step away or to not involve yourself in something that's sort of traumatizing and potentially chaotic to your psyche.
Okay, I hope that's helpful, Renee. And does anyone else have a question for us right now? You are welcome as always, Renee. Always good to see you. I was starting to wonder where you were when you posted your question.
And to Michelle's question, the results so far, I haven't actually done the numbers yet. I don't do them until the first of the month for the previous month. So obviously I won't look over all that data until probably Saturday because tomorrow's Friday and I have to work.
So hi, Janet. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in.
Pink. Makes me think of those little soldiers with the little the cellophane
the parachutes?
Yeah.
That they used to have when we were kids. I have not seen those.
I haven't either, but that's what I just thought of when you said thanks for dropping in.
Yeah, I've never had an opportunity to get those for the grandkids.
They're fun. You probably find them on Amazon.
The question is, do I want to risk stepping on one barefoot?
Better than a Lego.
I have done that many times.
That is the worst feeling in the world. Now imagine my father doing that at 3 o'clock in the morning after coming home from work.
As a first responder.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure someone was in trouble.
Thankfully, it wasn't me. The Legos were not mine. But he's also trying to not wake anybody up at 3 o'clock in the morning and stepped on said Lego.
I guess everyone woke up.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Does anyone else have a question for us?
Is the death card in a pile of opium?
Those do look like poppies to me.
Okay.
I'm getting kind of an interesting 3D effect on these cards. Hold that back up, please. Yeah.
It's just the glare.
It might be the glare, but I'm curious. Anyone in the chat seeing a 3D effect with that card?
I was just looking at it. I was like, what? Those look like poppies.
Well, I mean, ultimately, opium is going to kill you.
Well, yeah. Just making sure I knew my plants correctly. Herbology is not my forte.
Hi, Gretchen. Welcome. Have you got a question for us? Yeah, Janet says she used to get those little soldiers off the ice cream truck as a kid.
Yep. Those and those little bags that just had baking soda and vinegar in them that would explode. You paid a lot of money for something you could make at home for next to nothing. All right.
When I was at the prison Sunday,
Uh-oh.
at no, I had two new people, and one of them asked me if I felt like my home protection spells truly worked, and I said yes. A tornado has missed my house twice, and then I remembered this. When my daughter was in high school, we were walking out the front door. I was going to drop her off at the bus stop on my way to work, and I kicked something and I looked down, and there were some boiled eggs in our front yard. And we looked at each other, and I said, "Were we egged by the dumbest person in the world?"
Ah, Gretchen has a question.
All right. Okay, so I think you're asking how your job security is looking here, Gretchen.
Mm-hmm. All right. Whose turn is it to go first?
If you're ready, go ahead and go. I'm still shuffling.
All right. So the first card I have, Gretchen, is the Five of Swords. Now, unfortunately, my cards are doing this literal thing again. So yes, your job this week has been very unpleasant, and the Swords says that you need to start thinking in your own self-interest and go into survival mode, because at the end of the day, you have to worry about you and your self-preservation. So I would say pick and choose your battles wisely right now, but start looking for a new place of employment if possible. The second card I have for you is the World. When I get the sense of this employment, I feel like you've gone as far as you can go, and it's time to move on and start looking for something new while you have the upper hand, right? Because the last card that I pulled is the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords usually comes with betrayal or somebody sort of backstabbing you. So I want to say that you should start looking for other opportunities while you have the upper hand in this situation, would be my suggestion.
Okay, Gretchen, the first card I've got for you is the Lovers. And a lot of times, what the Lovers means is you have a choice to make. Sometimes between two or more different options. So start looking for what your options are in this situation. Next, I've got the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant here represents either the goddess Isis or her high priestess. And usually this card is a call to paying more attention to your spirituality. Since you're asking specifically along work and financial matters, uh, We can also see the offering table here. I'm going to say specifically, I don't know what your spiritual path is, but ask for some divine guidance along here, along these lines. And then the last card I've got is the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles being the suit of material gain or our material possessions. And overall, the aces are normally fortunate when we're looking at the essence of the suit. Since you're asking about money, I'm going to say you are in a position to make a good move that will benefit you at this time. So start looking for what your best option would be. And I hope that is helpful for you. And hello to Mark in the chat room. And do you have a question for us tonight, Mark? Nor do we have any other questions from anyone else. Hi, Corey. Thanks for saying hi. You are welcome, Gretchen. And sometimes we do get signs from the universe that it's time to move. And I'll also add that 4 times now I have manifested a good job for myself. And each time it was great in the situation in which I manifested it. And each time situations changed. The company got sold twice. My family situation changed, etc. Okay, Mark, can you clarify a little about what you're asking? Yeah, that's rough, Gretchen. I have been there as a single mom. Okay, so Mark wants to know if it's a good idea to propose at this time.
I mean, it can't hurt before pulling the cards. You can always have a long engagement. I did that.
How long were y'all engaged?
Year and a half.
That's not a long engagement.
Yeah, but we've been domestic partners for 4.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, survived a pandemic and all that.
I was going to say, were you domestic partners through the pandemic?
Just before it started, yep.
You'll survive anything.
Yep. All right. 'Tis your turn to go first.
It's my turn to go first.
Well, we should propose another one of those trifecta sessions.
With Dawn?
Yeah. Just saying.
We can certainly propose it.
I thought it was fun.
It was definitely fun. Okay, Mark. So the first card I've got for you is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, in this particular deck, it means that you will have good fortune in this particular circumstance. The next card I've got, which is kind of amusing in this case, is the King of Swords, but this represents someone who is moving, making plans, and acting on them wisely. And then this is kind of interesting. I've got the Seven of Cups.
Bingo!
Bingo. You did too.
Yep.
All right. The Seven of Cups means you have several possible choices.
Cake, flowers, officiants, guests, no guests.
So be sure you're making the right one. And I'm going to pull one more card. And this time I got the King of Wands. Now, wands are about passion. And the King of Wands acts with passion. Would you stop it?
Sorry.
So overall, it looks like a good idea to propose at this time with passion.
You haven't seen that dancing flamingo video with the more passion, more energy, like the fast-paced one? That's what I'm thinking about right now.
I have.
So, as I said on my bingo card, I also have the Seven of Cups. Now, for those who don't know, Mary and I live in 2 different time zones. That means 2 totally different states in 2 totally opposite houses using 2 completely different decks of cards. So, when I pulled the Seven of Cups, the only thing I was thinking about is all the options that come with planning a wedding because I am currently also planning a wedding. So, yes, proposing is good. Choices are fun. The second card I pulled for you is the Four of Wands, which, as Mary said, is about passion. But the Four of Wands is about home and foundation. So yes, proposing is good. Building a life together is good. You might have some home ownership as well in the future. Very good. And the third card that I pulled that ties it all together and brings home the bacon is the Ten of Pentacles. You have an entire community that loves and supports you both, and you will have great wealth and a legacy to build together. That is all to say, Mark, go start ring shopping. Ta-da!
Ta-da. Hello, Eric. And Gretchen, we'll just pull this over. Because Corey responded to Gretchen, and unless you're on the same Facebook page, you can't see each other.
All right.
Okay. Oh, Mark, come back and tell us how it went next week.
Yes, please. I'm going to make us bingo cards next time.
So Mark says he's toying with the idea of making my cat the honorary ring bearer.
As someone with a fuzzy monster,
now
I don't recommend it.
Okay. Well, you did say honorary because, well, I've seen it work for the dog being the ring bearer. I have no clue how you're going to get a cat down the aisle.
Don't ask me. Elvis wouldn't have done it. Elvis would be like, "Oh, this is for me. Okay, bye."
Hmm. But I love the idea of making the cat the honorary ring bearer.
I mean, my ring bearer wants to also throw flowers. So
How old is your ring bearer?
9. He still wants to throw the flowers like his sister.
Well, I don't see why it's impossible.
Oh, it's not impossible. It just need an extra bucket of flowers at $30 a pop. Now, mind you, the reason why this is important to me is I was a flower girl for my godmother when I was 5 years old. Except for the fact that I actually didn't get to throw any flowers.
So
They made me fake it.
what were you throwing?
Absolutely nothing.
So you just went.
I went like this. And I said to myself, when I grew up, there was no way in hell I was going to have a human have to go through that charade at my wedding. So you best believe this child is being told to throw and throw at whomever she wishes. And much like a drag show, the people sitting on the aisle are in the line of fire.
Wow.
Yup.
So at my third wedding, my niece was my flower girl.
Hi,
Hi,
Jade.
and she did have a little basket with some flowers to throw. So I had my daughter as my maid of honor. So she went down the aisle. Then my niece was to start down the aisle throwing flowers. Darned if that kid did not stop, pose. Oh, I'm so nervous. And then proceed down the aisle. But she paused in the doorway and posed.
Well, I hope someone got a good picture of that.
There was a picture taken of that, yes.
Nice.
But yeah. All right, we are coming to the top of the hour. Bryan is getting sleepy, and it's almost 10 o'clock for Elvis, so we can take one more question if anyone has it.
Going once.
Going twice.
Sold.
Going 3 times. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight for Tarot Thursday on divinationtv.com. And we will be back next week. We will have our website up and running by then. So, again, thank you all for. Is he a better man? Well, third wedding was third divorce. Now I'm on to fourth husband, and he's awesome. We've been together 20 years now.
He is very cool.
He is.
So we'll see you next Thursday, same time, same channel, same weird hosts.
Yes. So thank you all for joining us. Have a great evening and blessed be.